Partial failure of trophoblastic implantation, early onset preeclampsia, metabolic syndrome, late onset preeclampsia. The human trophoblastic implantation is the most aggressive in all the animal kingdom. In fact, it is a real invasion. Here you have simians, primates, advanced primates, and humans, and the thickness of the implantation is of 30% of the uterine wall. Inside the muscle, the myometrium. More than this, in hemochorial placenta, you have no maternal layer on the maternal side. That is to say that the paternal tissues are in direct contact with maternal organism. A normal pregnancy is a state of tolerance, of graft tolerance. A miscarriage is a kind of graft rejection, and preeclampsia is a partial graft rejection. In the last 2 decades, here are the main progress in immunology of reproduction, the immunological wall of sperm, which prepares for the day after the trophoblastic implantations. Very important in 2000, the discovery that NK cells, natural killer cells, innate immune system, is a key point of trophoblastic implantation. For example, we never speak of NK cells in graft transplants, for example. And now we know that there is also a regulating role of Treg lymphocytes. But we wish to speak about late onset preeclampsia, by far the main form of preeclampsia. We did a study on 1,800 preeclamptic cases, and what we found is that primiparity, age over 25, and high BMI were associated with LOP, chronic hypertension, and history of preeclampsia and multiparas were strongest risk factor for EOP. In a multivariate model, we showed also that maternal ages and pre-pregnancy BMI were independent risk factor for both EOP and LOP. But the shape is very different. Here you have maternal ages. Teenagers, women 20, 24, 25, 29. In gray, you have EOP, early onset, and you see that there is a rise, regular rise with maternal ages. In black, it is LOP, same shape, rising with maternal ages. This is totally different with maternal pre-pregnancy BMI. Here you have very lean women. Here you have lean women, normal women, overweight women, obesity class 1, obesity class 2, and so on. There is no correlation with early onset preeclampsia and maternal BMI. This is totally different with LOP, where you have a linear association between the risk of LOP and the rising maternal BMI. We went in this same study. We came back on the scope study data from Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and we found exactly the same shape. Very recently in the USA, the team of Bahasibai also showed an association with different class of obesities and preeclampsia. Here are their data. Here you have the week gestation. So after 34, you have LOP, obesity class 1, class 2, class 3. they find also the same pattern. It is important to note that they did on hypertensive disorders of pregnancy and not only preeclampsia. Very important also, controlling for maternal ages and prepregnancy BMI, diabetes was no more an independent risk factor, neither for EOP nor for LOP. Optimal weight gain during pregnancy for overweight and obese women. The international recommendation, IOM 2009, recommend for overweight 7-11 kilos, and very important in all kinds of obese women, there is a recommendation of a weight gain of 5-9. Completely independently from our preeclampsia research, we have shown in 2018 that in single-term pregnancies, achieving the goal to have normal-shaped babies, that is to say, having 10% of SGA and 10% of LGA in newborns, it was a linear curve for maternal gestational weight gain, y equal minus 1.2x plus 42. Here you have very lean women, they should gain 20 kilos and not 12, 18 like the IOM recommendation. Here we are in complete agreement with the IOM 2009 recommendation, but beginning with obesity, we have a disagreement. For obesity class 1, they should gain rather 2 kilos instead of 5-9. And even in obesity class 3, women should lose kilos, minus 3 kilos. It was published in the Helion open source of the Lancet in 2018. So we tested our equation in our population, and what we found, this is the observed rate we had during 20 years, plus or minus with the IOM 2009 recommendation. Here you have obesity class 3, they have 3% of preeclampsia. Obesity class 2, 2.5%. Obesity class 1, 1.5%. This is the women who have followed our equation, and it is below 1% of preeclampsia. Conclusion, biological plausibility, getting rid of diabetes is very important. Late onset is linearly associated with rising maternal pregnancy. Metabolic factors other than diabetes associated with pregnancy maternal corpulence are specifically associated with LOP. Metabolic syndrome may explain the maternal inflammation in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Prevention of early onset preeclampsia is accessible through aspirin treatment. Now we have a great hope to do the same in late onset preeclampsia by controlling an adequate gestational weight gain in women. But we should probably revise the IOM 2009 recommendation for overweight and obese women. Thank you.